What's up, YouTube? We did it. We made it. We're going to answer some mental health questions. Honestly, mental health is one of my biggest passions in the world, and my team and I came up with questions, frequently asked questions that I get, not just by fans, just by normal people about therapy. Also, you may be like, wow, why is this YouTube video sped up? It is not. I just speak extremely fast. So anyway, got a hat. We have questions, and we're going to answer them at random. Ready? Here we go. Taking care of our mental health is extremely important because, why did I just start that off like an essay? Like I was writing an essay. Anywho, taking care of your mental health is extremely important because if you are not in the right headspace, when strenuous things come up, such as COVID, deaths in family, such as trauma, it is extremely, extremely difficult to be able to get through it. You already have a certain issue in your life or difficulty, whatever it may be, and we sometimes just don't know how to handle it. We neglect our mental health. We try to not talk about it at times, and what happens is it builds up, and as it builds and builds, it gets stronger and stronger, and eventually it will come out, and it comes out in extremes, whether it's anger, aggression, sadness, suicide, all these things. We try to neglect our mental health because we can't feel it in a physical capacity. There's so many different avenues that we tend to just not focus on because we think things will get better in time, and that's just not true. You really need to process your emotions. You really need to process your feelings for yourself to grow and for yourself to get better. All right, here we go. Second question. First off, like mental illness. For me, I don't call like anxiety or depression a mental illness. I more or less call it like a mental health disorder. For me, when I think of a mental health illness, I think of schizophrenia, delusional disorder. For me, a mental health disorder is something that can go away, like anxiety, depression. Mental health illness is something that like medicine, as of now, and therapy can only aid. But anyway, the way to find out if you are just sad or you have a mental health disorder, right? A sad is a feeling. Feeling sad is a feeling that we have. Now, it is one of the major criteria in the DSM-5, feeling sad almost every day. There's different criteria that comes along with depression. Are you lethargic? Are you sleeping a lot? Are you eating a lot? Are you not sleeping a lot? Are you not eating a lot? What? Psychomotor activity is slowed down. There's so many different criteria. That's the fit, plus has to cause, which is the biggest thing, clinical and significant impairment in your life. So you can be sad, but if it's not impairing you significantly where you can't go to work, you can't function, you just are sad, and that's okay. And if it's more than that, then you most likely should go talk to someone because you might be depressed. The most important thing, when you're thinking of like who to find as a therapist is therapeutic rapport. There's a study in 1980, and I used to say this on the show all the time. There's a study in 1980, I think it was like Miller, and Smith. And what they did was, which they wouldn't be able to do now because it'd be deemed unethical, they completed therapy without using any therapeutic techniques. The only thing that they did was create a relationship with their client. 50%, half, improved in symptoms with literally zero psychotherapy. It was literally just through therapeutic rapport. Now, obviously, they didn't know that at the time, the clients, that they weren't going to be getting any therapeutic techniques, but it's insane how much that works. You will know within the first 2 minutes if you click with your therapist, if they're doing the intake, if it's something they're meeting with, and if you don't like them and you're not vibing with them, get another one. It's okay. Everyone's not for everyone. Shit happens. Therapists should not get mad if you want to skip. They should care about you and wanting you to do the best, and you're only going to do the best with someone you click with, because if you do not trust your therapist, you don't vibe with them, you're not going to tell them, and then they can't help you. I can tell you what you shouldn't do. Do not be like,
oh, you'll be fine. You'll be okay.
Right? The worst thing is when people are like, I'm so sorry that I have to tell you this, but I just haven't been feeling myself. Why are they apologizing, right? And then you realize that people are apologizing because other people that they have tried to talk to have made them feel guilty about it. How shitty is that? That your friends come to you and try to tell you how they're feeling, and you either dismiss them or be like, oh, no, you'll be okay. It's fine. Stop complaining. Toughen up. That makes people apologize because it makes them feel like telling their feelings and saying their feelings is a bad thing. That's bullshit. Don't be that person, because honestly, you're making their own mental health worse. Stop thinking about just you and read people. Read the room, right? Read the signs that they're giving you. If they're trying to hint that something's wrong, ask them. But yeah, what is the best place to start looking for a therapist? So people always like, oh, what do I do to get a therapist, right? You have insurance, you call your insurance provider. They will send you a list of people that are in your network. And then you can look them up, guy, girl, whatever it may be. They should be in your network. You talk to them about like money, plans, stuff like that. Typically, it's pretty fixed scale. It can slide a little bit. Technically, therapists do have to do pro bono work and do a sliding scale due to the code of ethics. So you should never not be without therapy, regardless if you have it, insurance or not. But yeah, you should definitely go through your insurance provider and look and see what is in your network. Also, asking people. People will be like, oh my God, this therapist worked amazing for me. Some people will be like, oh, they sucked. And just because they like someone or didn't like someone doesn't mean that they're not good. They just might not be for that person. So just look around. And like I said, don't just feel like you have to be stuck to the one person if that's all you found. Like, keep looking. There's someone out there for you. I'm sweating. I don't even want to lift up my arms because like that Botox I got, well, I got it in my head right now. If you could tell, eyebrows are kind of moving up. I don't have it in my armpits anymore because it wore out. So these bad boys are probably sweating. And I just put this shirt on right before this video. So that's just the power of armpit sweat. Anyway, that's a good one. Theoretically, through studies, the best way to show improvement is to get therapy and medication. When CBT is combined, CBT, by the way, is cognitive behavioral therapy. When you combine CBT with medication, it is shown, theoretically, to have the most success. If you really, really are struggling, I know people feel a certain type of way about putting things in their body, putting medications, not wanting to be reliant on medication, and I understand that. But you have to understand this. For people with anxiety and depression, the theory is that you have a lack of serotonin in your brain. That is why you take an SSRI. SSRI stands for selective serotonin reuptake inhibitor, okay? That is your Zolofts, your Prozacs, your Lexapros. What they do is they stop the reuptake of serotonin, therefore leaving more serotonin in your brain and theoretically improving your mood because serotonin is linked with mood. But yeah, don't be scared to get help and don't feel alone. There's always someone there that wants to help you. You just have to find them. And I promise you, if you find a therapist, they will do whatever it takes to help you. And you'll know. You'll just vibe with them. Unfortunately, there is a cap. This isn't to say that you can't function, right? This is why we don't call it schizophrenics or, oh, they're a narcissist, right? They are a person with schizophrenia. They are a person with narcissistic personality disorder, right? Our disorders do not define who we are as people. Yes, we will have symptoms related to what our mental health diagnosis is, but that does not define who we are, right? We are not anxiety. We are people with anxiety. We are not depression. We are people with depression. So unfortunately, though, with an actual mental health illness, you can only go so far. Schizophrenia is not curable. Delusional disorder is not curable. Medication can help. Therapy can help you stay in a good state, but it does not mean that it can go away. Not yet. So hopefully there's still advances in medication and we can figure this out. That's a good question. That you're weak, right? Especially if you're a male. If you are a male and you cry, right, forget about it. People are so tough on others. They put such a negative stigma on mental health. And then we have people, especially males, not going and not speaking about their feelings because they think that it makes them weak and inferior. And then they don't say it. And then guess what? Men are 3 times more likely to actually follow through with suicide. So females are 5 times more likely to try to commit, but they typically use less lethal means. Men are 3 times more likely to actually go through with it, with a lethal thing. So it's bad because people have this negative stigma that if your mental health is bad, that it's a weak thing. It's an ego thing. Listen, some people don't know how to find it, and that's another problem. They don't know how to access it, and it is very easily accessible if you know what to do. Like I said, you call your insurance provider, and bam, it's done. But people have a lot of questions and they don't know how to get them answered, or people are scared that people will judge them. Listen, confidentiality in therapy, we are not allowed to speak on anything that you tell us. The only exceptions to confidentiality are if you say you're going to kill someone else, you are going to kill yourself, or someone is hurting you, like abusing, okay? That is the only time that we are allowed to break confidentiality. Obviously, if you're abusing someone else currently. But other than that, we are limited. Everything stays between us. We will not be telling people. If we know that you live in this town and the next client after us lives in that town, we're not going to schedule you guys back to back because we don't want you guys to walk into each other. We're going to make it the most private experience that you can and the most comfortable experience that you can have so you feel comfortable sharing why you're actually there. I think that people just feel that they're that having a problem makes you weak. Like I said, makes you inferior, makes you not good enough, makes you not strong enough. People just don't feel strong enough within themselves to go and let their guard down. People have been hurt so much. People have been through so much. And it's hard to be like, how am I going to build a relationship with an absolute stranger? And I know that sounds weird, and that's exactly why you will know when you see your therapist if you vibe with them within the first minute of meeting them. And you will feel so comfortable, maybe not right away, and that's fine. We're not here to pry, and we never give advice. We just provide guidance, okay? It is up to you guys as our clients to come to conclusions, even if we have them. It means more when you come to them. So hopefully that answered all your questions, all of your very, very great questions that you typically ask me frequently. Hopefully this answers a lot of your questions. I don't really know what I'm saying right now. I'm super duper sweaty. Whatever. Love you guys. We out.